really starting to come to the conclusion that social services is a scam. Um, I've been getting this impression for some time now, and I'm getting more and more evidence, and it's starting to head in that direction. And unfortunately, if I am correct, liberals and Democrat voters are never going to know this. This information will be concealed from them because the only people who will be critiquing social services will be bad faith actors from the right? Who their purpose is not to solve problems or to give a good faith critique, it's just to oppose the left. So the only people critiquing it are bad faith actors. And everybody on your side is just like, yeah, we gotta help people, we gotta help the poor, whatever, whatever. They'll never know how bad the system is. Especially, and this is something that I've seen some people bring up, where a lot of people who are very activated and out there, like we gotta help people, are not the poor. So these are not the people who actually use social services, right? They're the white knights advocating for the poor who are too busy to advocate for themselves many times, right? So you have people who don't know how these systems work out there championing them and like, yeah, we gotta help people. Everybody should have a home. And this is a massive dysfunction. And you have someone like me who, uh, you know, exists outside of the tribes, so therefore I can see things more clearly because I'm not just gonna adopt, rhetoric of one group or the other. I'm actually just looking at it objectively and like making my own assessment. And because of that, I'm able to see things that others won't. Not because I'm smarter or better, it's just I'm not ideologically captured, shall we say. Um, a couple of things that I noticed. I had a situation where I was dealing with a tenant who apparently had some kind of mental issue, and the guy was spiraling out of control. There was trash everywhere. Really unsafe conditions for other tenants and this tenant. He was also living with someone that was, let's just say, severely ill as far as mentally. Um, with all the craziness that was going and the one guy spiraling out of control, unsanitary conditions, this was reported to social services. A few weeks later, somebody showed up, didn't make an attempt at all whatsoever to check and see the conditions, didn't go inside the unit, um, didn't even take note of the tons of trash that was right in the front yard. They literally just came in the front yard and chatted with this guy and the others about unrelated stuff that had nothing to do with the reason that they were called in the first place. So no attempt whatsoever. I contact this guy afterwards and I send him pictures and evidence of like the conditions that he didn't check. No response whatsoever. So nothing's been done. The guy continued to spiral out of control. One of the things that happened was he wasted $3,000 of water in a month. This is, you know, city resources. This is water, precious water, just wasted. No consequences. And more importantly, because if you want to focus on the person needs help, well, who's helping him? I don't see anything happening. It's just spiraling out of control. I feel like the person's abandoned. I feel like all they're doing is just giving them money. Right? Here's money, good luck. I know it's not literally just giving them money. I know they do other things. And I believe there may be access to like counseling or something like that. But whatever they're doing, it's not working. And again, when you come to a residence where there's been reported about unsanitary conditions and you make no attempt to check, like that tells me what kind of operation you're running. And then when the homeowner contacts you and shows you the stuff that you didn't bother to check, and then nothing's done about it, it's still there. It's just like this guy is just. And then you look at Neely, what happened to Neely. I can see how that can happen. You know, you have these, and I know, don't even get me started on the nonprofits. Nonprofits are, oh yeah, we're gonna help the poor and this and that, and then they're raising all this money, and what are they doing with the money, right? You got social services, out there claiming to be helping people. They're helping people to be in someone's home. The person's out of control. The homeowner is powerless. So many laws and restrictions. I can't even ask them anything. I can't even know what their condition is. So you have somebody living in your house that may be potentially a danger to other tenants. And I can't even know as a homeowner, like I'm responsible for people living in my home, accepting the situation. I'm just, it's insane. Imagine you have someone living in your house with kids, and then you got some other guy that's got mental issues, and you don't even know anything about it at all. And then, okay, fine, but then the people who are taking care of this person aren't really seem to be doing a good job. And the other thing that happened was that same guy lied to me when I spoke to him. He claimed this was his first visit, but then I was like, this guy looks familiar, and I realized no, he's been there before. So dishonest. Um, I spoke to another one another time before because this guy was getting out of control, and I wanted, like, I can't do anything. I'm not allowed to do anything, right? I'm just like powerless. I'm just seeking help, you know, because things are out of control. I'm getting complaints from other tenants, so I called social services, and the person I spoke to was just so unhelpful. I was trying to track down the social services worker. I don't know what it's called. Like you have one that's dedicated to you, that's helping you. I was trying to find out who that person was to talk to them and let them know what's going on, um, so they could intervene or do something. It's just like things are out of control. It's like no one will do anything. So I'm calling, and the person was like, "Oh, they don't know. They don't know who the social services. They said they are not the one, and they don't know who it is, and they don't know how I can find out who it is." And I know there's like privacy, but this is ridiculous. Like it's like okay, there's privacy stuff, but this does not work. This is a complete like dysfunctional system. Now again, bad faith actors on the right will love this kind of stuff because it's kind of like this is why we don't want all these social programs. Get rid of them. They don't work. No, I say fix them, right? They have good intentions, and they're very important services, but do it right. But that'll never happen because the people who vote for the people who advocate for these policies are in the dark about how dysfunctional they are. So who's the one that's going to put pressure on the government to fix these things? No one, right? And again, the main people critiquing them, bad faith actors, so they're just being ignored, right? Because you're just you're just a right winger, right? You don't have enough people like me who support these policies, right? But have a good faith critique that want them to work, want them to be done properly. And the other thing I noticed is I started getting mail to my house from social services with some guy's name on it who doesn't live here and never lived here. And I'm just like, what is going on? How is it that you have this address to send something, I don't know what's in there, to this guy at this house? Like, I mean, in theory, you could say someone made a mistake, they sent it to the wrong address somehow, one number was wrong, right? But I suspected maybe like fraud, especially because the person I mentioned before has a criminal past, right? So I don't know if they were up to no good. Um, I call social services. There's a number for like you call for fraud or whatever. They seem to have no interest whatsoever. They were just like, oh, just put it back in the mail. I mean, the attitude that I got from them was such that I think that this is an organization that's easy to scam in terms of if you want to do a fraud and you want to do a fraudulent claim or whatever. I feel like they are vulnerable to that, right? Because if you're in the fraud protection, whatever, and I mean, I just from talking to the person, there seemed to be no intrigue or interest Nothing like, oh, really? Well, let me get the person's name down. We're going to look into it. Right? I think that was one of the main things. There was no looking into it. Sure, I should put the mail back and have it sent back, say wrong address. Sure, right? But you don't have the interest at all to check, look up the guy's name, see if he has a profile, see what address is on the profile, get the address from me where the mail was sent, see if they match up. If they match up, then they gotta be corrected. So you contact the person, have it like. I mean, social services. This is. I mean, I assume they send out checks, people's personal information, and they don't care that the letter goes to the wrong person. I mean, again and again and again, I keep having these interactions with these people, and it just seems like such a dysfunctional organization. And again, who on the left is going to talk about these things? Right? Why would they? Because they're not going to know. Who's the one that's going to inform them about this kind of nonsense? Again, a lot of the advocates for this stuff are not the poor people who are recipients of these things, right? Look at these YouTubers, right? Middle class and upper middle class YouTubers sitting at home in their basement talking about this now and Donald Trump. Are they on food stamps? Are they using social services? Do they know anyone who is? Do they, if they even have any awareness of these programs or experience, do they care to have a critical eye and look at how well these programs are working and what the issues are and try to advocate for improving them? I can tell you the last time I've heard from the left-wing media. I mean, of course, I'm talking about social services, so this is more a left-wing critique, right? But right-wing, I don't see it either. I can tell you the last time I've seen someone on the left-wing media critiquing the programs they advocate for. They'll critique their politicians, right? I'll see them critiquing the Democrats. I'll see them critiquing even the Squad, Biden, right? They critique the people, but I don't see them critiquing the programs that they advocate for. They'll advocate for a program. We got to help people, there need to be more money invested in homelessness and the housing. We got to put more money into it. But where are the critiques of the programs that they do have? The money that is being spent? Again, the only ones talking about this stuff, bad faith actors on the right. I'm not saying everyone on the right is a bad faith actor, but typically that's who you hear. These dishonest, influencers online who are just there to oppose the left in support of the Republican Party. Now, of course, you're going to have apologists that are going to point out that there are people who do critique programs from the left, and I'm well aware of that, but I hardly see that. Like, that's not an ongoing topic of, like getting a lot of attention of like, yeah, these programs, they need to be improved. And then again, they come back, yeah, and these programs are still, they haven't made any changes. Democrats have not changed these programs. This is ridiculous. Months later, we're reporting again. The programs still have not changed. The Democrats refuse to do anything about it. Biden, I don't see it. All I see is conservatives saying, do away with these programs. They're stupid. Government is wasteful. Government is dumb. I'd rather the private industry do their thing. Free markets. And on the left, it's just, opposition to the right and advocating for, housing for all. Is social services a scam? I don't know. I wouldn't make that conclusion, but I am prepared to say that there seems to be, at a minimum, some serious dysfunction with social services. And it's not just social services. Sad. Who else? Who else who supports these programs is going to be willing to speak the truth, fully inform their audience so these programs can be fixed and take away some talking points from the right? Interestingly enough, by them being silent, they're just giving the right ammunition to pull things in their direction. The common argument of anti-social programs because they don't work. Left-wingers, don't make their points, don't make them correct. Don't step on your own feet. Stop giving conservatives layups. Stop. Rittenhouse, Jacob Blake, Neely. You guys make it too easy for these bad faith actors to make you look like fools. This is Debate Me channel. Debate Me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.